Changing the orientation of a part relative to the global coordinate system can be a tedious process. Because of this, it's important to consider the reason for wanting to change the orientation. There are two common reasons. The most common is to redefine the standard front, top, and right views. This leads to more descriptive isometric views and helps in the creation of drawings. The second common reason is to reorient the part for exporting purposes, especially when exporting to CAM or rapid prototyping software. Both of these common reasons have simple fixes. First, let's take a look at redefining the standard views. Suppose I want to change what's currently the front view to be the top view. I'll switch views to the front and bring up the View Orientation dialog box by pressing the spacebar on the keyboard. I'll highlight top by selecting it only once. Next, I'll click the Update Standard Views button. SOLIDWORKS will issue a warning indicating that any existing drawing views of this part will be affected by this change. Now, as I cycle through the different standard views, you can see that what used to be the top view is now the front. If you're not satisfied with the new standard views, you can always reset them back to their default by clicking the Reset Standard Views button on the View Orientation dialog box. Next, let's take a look at how to change the coordinate system used for exporting. For our example, I'd like to take what is currently the XY plane and make it the XZ plane. Again, this is going to allow me to export the model in a different orientation for purpose of manufacturing or prototyping. I'll begin by inserting a new coordinate system from the Insert Reference Geometry drop-down menu. In the Coordinate System Property Manager, I can define a vertex to be used as the coordinate system origin, as well as directions for the X, Y, and Z axes. If you don't select a vertex, the origin of the new coordinate system will be the same as the origin of the global coordinate system. The change I wish to make is easily accomplished by activating the Z-axis field and selecting a vertical edge. This orients the Z-axis in the direction of the selected edge. Now, the front face, which used to be in the XY plane, will be in the XZ plane. I'll click OK to accept the new coordinate system. Remember, what we're doing is preparing the part for export. When it comes time to export, I'll click File, Save As, and select the required file format. I'll select Parasolid. Before saving, I'll click Options and specify Coordinate System 1 as the output coordinate system. I'll click OK and save. To see the results, I'll open the Parasolid file, and you can see that in fact the front face of the part is in the XZ direction. If these two techniques don't address your reason for reorienting your part, and you truly wish to change the global coordinate system within SOLIDWORKS, you'll have to go through a somewhat tedious manual process. As SOLIDWORKS doesn't allow you to change the global coordinate system directly. Instead, you have to change the part itself, including its sketch planes and directions from the ground up. The sample part I have here is quite simple and can be reoriented easily. The first step is to change the first feature. I'll use the rollback bar to isolate the first extrude. The reason for isolating the extrude is that once I begin making changes, many errors can arise later in the feature tree, especially when your part has many features. By using the rollback bar, you can concentrate on repairing one error at a time. So what is it about the first extrude that establishes the orientation of the part? Well, it's not the extrude direction. It's the plane that was selected when the first sketch was created. To edit the plane, I'll right-click the first sketch and select Edit Sketch Plane. You can see the front plane was used. I'll select the top plane from the Feature Manager tree instead, and click OK. Already, you can see what used to be the front face of the part is now in the XZ orientation. I'll move the rollback bar down one feature. This circular cut appears correctly and without errors, so I'll advance the rollback bar one more feature. Now this time, the rectangular cut looks wrong and has an error. Taking a look at the sketch, you can see that it's in the wrong orientation. I'll right-click the sketch and select Edit Sketch Plane. The problem is that this sketch was created on the top plane. Although the top plane hasn't changed, the part itself has. I'll select the rectangular face of the part itself as the new sketch plane. The sketch is now in the correct orientation, but there is an error on the cut feature. I'll edit the feature. You can see the cut is going in the wrong direction. I'll flip the direction and click OK. The part is now successfully reoriented in the global coordinate system. This was a simple part. If the part you're working with is complex, consider the amount of time it'll take you to go through each feature and make the necessary repairs. Most often you'll find that whatever reason you had for reorienting the part just isn't that important.